Good morning folks, welcome to this week's video. So here we are by a beautiful lake here. We're at Willow Lakes in Chediston in Suffolk. We've got a couple of days before the season finishes here, so I thought I'd just bring a couple of rods, wet a few flies, see whether we can get any fish on the bank. Right, I've got to set up two rods for today, so I'm going to use the X5 Max as a fly rod. I'm going to set this up with a sinking line, and then I'll just use my other 5-weight rod with a floating line. It's been a while since I've fished here, and that's basically down to the fact the last time I was here it was just there was no oxygen in the water at all, so warm, so I thought it was probably best to leave it a couple of months. And I left it a little bit late because we've only got about 2-3 days left on the season here, so yeah, looking forward to getting a couple of flies wet here. Right, so on the floating line setup, I'm using a furled leader. So this needs a little bit of floatant put on it. So I've got this this mousseline. So that just needs, it's got a little pad inside of it. Just give that a wipe with some of the silicone that's inside of that. And then all you need to do is literally just fold that in between the furled leader and then just draw it all the way through. Just run this a couple of times, and then that will allow the furled leader to float a little bit better. Right, well, there's a few taking terrestrials just off that overhanging willow just behind me there, so I think we'll have a bash with the floating setup first, see how we get on. Oh, we had a take then. I took it a bit too soon. I hit that too soon. Well, we've had a couple of follows, but they're not really that interested in the daddy longlegs, so I think we'll swip this over onto a gnat. But they're definitely feeding off terrestrials that have fallen off the willow, and they're interested, but they're not going for it, so we'll have a swap over, I think. Right, swapped over to a gold beaded Montana. Third cast, I've had 2 hits already, so I think these are the way forward. Finally, fish on. It's not a monster, but it's a fish. Not a bad fish at all. Well, we got one anyway, that's the main thing. So, one fish. At least we haven't blanked today. But anyway, let's get that on the stringer and get that Montana back in and see whether we can get another one. Well, that was on the gold-headed Montana, that was. So, not quite on the surface. So we'll have another go with this, I think, and then if we don't get anything, then we'll go over at the sinking line and see whether we can get anything a little bit further in the water column. Fish on. Right, I think we're ready for the net. Right, there we go, look, number 2 there, hook come out in the net, about the same size as the other one. About the same size as the other one, so straight on the stringer. So the Montana's definitely working, so I think we'll stick with that. Fish on again, well, hey! Oh, this one is a bit, this one's fighting a lot more. There we go. That one's a little bit bigger, but that came pretty quick. So those gold-headed Montanas are really working really well. So I think we'll stick to using that and leave the sinking line to another day. Well, it makes a change catching fish, doesn't it? Well, we're a 4 fish limit here at Willow Lakes. There's no catch and release here. So we've had 3. It's only, what is it? 11 o'clock. Do I really want to go back home? No. I think we'll have a brew and then we'll go over for our last fish. And I've got all my lure fishing stuff in the van as well, so perhaps we'll hit the Waveney a little bit further up on the way home. But we shall see. We'll have a brew and we'll have a think about it. Right, looks like we've got a bit of a restock, as there's a couple of days left of the season. It looks like they're having a bit of a restock before end of the season, so the fish can winter over, ready for next year. So let's go take a look at the fish being put in. So that's 500 more fish in it. They should be a nice size for the time the season opens next year. And he says there's a load of blues been put in as well, and I've never seen them before. Be interesting to catch one of them. Well, wasn't planning that. Goldfish. Well, wasn't planning that little fella at all. Let's get him in the water. Right, so that'll do us for today. We've had 3 fish. No, we haven't. We've had 4 fish. We've had 3 rainbows and a goldfish. I've just lost my last gold-headed Montana in the tree, so there's 6 in there now. So I think we'll wrap it up actually. So that's end of season at Willow Lakes here. I've had a cracking year here this year. So thank you for watching this week's video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, then please hit the subscribe button just below there. And as always, a couple of videos for you to take a look at, and we'll see you next week on the next one.